So if you want your dog to walk good as fuck on a leash, this video is for you. If you're tired of the frustration of your dog roaming around aimlessly, pulling you, zigzagging all over the place, here are 4 quick steps to getting your dog to walk good as fuck on the leash. Leash pulling is #1 frustrating thing for dog owners. Depending on who you ask, it could be this, it could be that. You ask who on first base, they say one thing. You ask what on second, they say something else. So here are 4 easy steps to get your dog to walking better and looser on the leash and making your walks more enjoyable. First step, understanding leash pressure. So she has her prong on, you can do this with a martingale or even just a flat collar. Have a little treat. You're gonna pull your dog into one direction, and as soon as they come to you, release. So to get out of it, they have to come to where the leash is looser. So I'm pulling her this way, yes, reward. Your dog isn't born to understand how to use a leash. So this is why we gotta teach them. Pull a different way, yes, reward. And you're gonna do this over and over in many different directions. But the biggest one is when they're away from you, yes, because that's where they're gonna wanna pull going forward. Pull, yes. Yes. So this is why it's always good to have treats on you when you're doing your walks. Yes. Okay, let them zone out. Yes. Purposely let them zone out. Yes. So every time they pull, you're going to show them by getting out of that pressure and coming to you, there's going to be something good at the end of that rainbow. After that, you're going to start lowering the heeling position. Meaning, it doesn't matter if you like it left, right, or center. I would suggest you do left, right, and center. But whatever one you want to favor, go ahead and start lowering that position. So, with the treat in hand, using her food, her raw food, shoulder to shin, we're going to start walking 1 step at a time. So it'll look like this. All right, left. Here it is. And she can go ahead and actually fight it for this one. And you can just see shin to elbow, then sit, yes. As always, want a couple of steps, yes. If they get a little mouthy, you can just go ahead and pop them on the nose, so this way they can understand that's a no-no. But then you got to add turns. And here's where the leash pressure comes in, because if she gets a little space from you, put a little pressure on that leash and she'll understand, for me to get out of this pull, I have to go towards him, and that will cause you to get a closer heel. Then add a turn, boom, yes, heel, but also back, turn, still got a little pressure. Yes, good girl. But if you're tired of all the frustration, the unknown, the uncertainty, not knowing what to do, who to listen to, and you want to further break down on all these steps, go ahead over to strongdogsusa.com and get signed up today, and you'll have all the lessons for all the breakdowns step by step for you. And some of the proceeds go to dog charities and men and women in uniform. And the thing about luring, you're going to do this not just on your home court, which is whether if it's your neighborhood, your sidewalk, whatever it is, you have to lure as you go up with distractions. Higher distractions, higher stimulus, higher luring, because eventually their skill set will start to deteriorate. It's like this. You don't learn to ski by skiing on Black Diamond. You learn on the small slopes, then you go up to the blues, and then finally you get up to the expert level. So do all this, but slowly start building up the stimulus. So if your goal is to walk on the street, but they can't walk on the street because they're distracted by cars, dial it back, start lowering. Once they can do that without the cars and without the lure, then you can start upping the ante. Same thing if you're, say, in a downtown setting where there's a bunch of other people, a bunch of other dogs. Start at a distance, lure, build that confidence, build that positioning, and then go into those situations, but continue to lure in those situations. Too many people put their dog in those disadvantages, and then they wonder why their dog can't, walk on a good leash. Well, they never had the foundation or the expertise or the time to develop that skill. Remember, dogs are not born understanding how to walk on a leash. They are born to run around, hunt. We put them on a leash, so we have to teach them how to be on the leash. Step number 3, the leash pop. And the leash, well, I'll just call it the leash pop. This is where you're giving your dog plenty of space to do whatever they want, but when they're too far and going their own way, the pop is to get them back in line with you. But the goal here is to do it strong enough to where they understand it, but not light enough to where it meant nothing. So it's like taxation without representation. You can go speeding down the street. You can say you have $1,000 in your bank account and you're speeding down the street. And if a cop pulls you over for speeding and gives you a 10-cent ticket, you're going to look at that ticket and be like, fuck it, I'm going to continue to speed. However, if they give you a ticket and you still have that $1,000 in your bank account and they give you a ticket for $5,000, that might deteriorate you so much you'll never want to drive again. So that's where you got to find that sweet spot. So if that ticket was maybe, say, $150, it's like, okay, I took it on the chin, but I'm not going to not drive. So make sure when you do these pops, it's somewhere in that middle ground. You got to be as like, okay, that was fair, but not too fair where the dog shuts down. Okay. The other one, when you do these pops, I usually only do these pops when I give my dog the free walk. If it's the heeling position, she knows the heeling position. Because at a certain point, you're going to be like, Stevie J, when is my dog going to be able to be free on the leash? Well, she can be free on the leash when we walk, she just can't pull. So if it's right before there's tension on here and she hasn't checked in with me in a while, I'm going to do a quick pop and get her back in line so she knows, hey, when I start feeling this tension, something's going to happen. And do it sneaky. Be quiet. So that last one was pretty good because obviously now she doesn't want to leave my side, which will lead us into number 4, the short stop. Meaning your dog, that's when your dog starts drifting a little bit too much in front of you, and that's when you just quickly stop. And normally it's because the dog would just stand, look around, or whatever. The quick stop will be a little pop on the leash, but to where the dog would then want to automatically sit or get back in line. So if the dog is maybe, say, 3/4 away in front of you, you can just quickly stop, and then that'll bring the dog, give enough of a pop on the collar to get them to realize, oh shit, he stopped. Let me get back in position and sit. Now, when you do those quick pops, whether if it's on the long line or when you're just doing the short stop, make sure you're actually holding the leash rather tight and close to your chest. The last thing you want to do is try and pop it and you're doing one of these with the arms out here. That's nonsense. This is what's going to keep the dog away from you. When you want a good heeling position, you want it right here. So one, it's a stronger position, so anyone who doesn't have the physical strength to do these pops still can, and you got a hold of it. And there you go. But it's all about the timing. And I believe I got this one from American Canine Standard. When you do these pops, do it quietly and sneaky. If the dog is in front of you and you're letting them have their free walk, cool. And I say free walk because remember, I have 3 different heeling styles. Free walk, they can walk in front of me they're on the leash. It's cool, do your thing as long as you're not pulling. Then I got the actual left heel, which is what we were lowering before. And then we have the focus heel. So with all these put together, your dog will be awesome. There is a quick pop, even though she didn't sit, totally okay. And if they automatically sit and are good, praise and reward. I'm just out of treats, so that's why I'm just praising. Good girl. That's awesome, baby. And then continue. So she getting a little tight. There's the pop. She got, there it is. Good girl. Good girl. And as always, you want the complete breakdown of all these videos, and so you're taking the guesswork out of it step by step, head over to strongdogsusa.com so you get the full video library of not just leash walking, but everything we do that does support men in uniform and dog charities. And please like, subscribe to these videos and to the channel. Thank you for your support. Talk to you next time. Peace.